Hello, and welcome to the Mandalorian Season 2 after show here on JLJ Media. I am James Lott Jr. I want to show you my new shirts my mother gave me. Love it, love it, love it. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I know it's a little late. People are asking me, where are you? Where are you? What's going on? We started at 5. It's a little 5:15. So I'm sorry about that. Hopefully, right now it's just me at the moment. I think Ryan maybe having some difficulties getting in. So maybe he'll come in, maybe he won't. But he is my co-pilot of the show. Hi, Kirsten. But I decided to go on with the show because I know you guys were waiting for it. So I'm going to get it out to you guys and have it. And technology happens, things happen. So that's kind of no big deal, of course. I know the shirt's the bomb. I have the shirt. But it was such an exciting episode that I want to talk about it. And so here I am. We're talking about it here on JD Media. So thanks you guys for coming in. I know this shirt is the bomb. My mother got it for me and everything. I love it. Before I start, I want to tell you that my other Star Wars podcast, Darth Vader is Your Father, I have 3 exciting episodes coming up in December. One is the unboxing of the Star Wars Monopoly for Mandalorian. That'll be coming up. Another episode is a Christmas episode, so you want to watch that. And another one is I got a bunch of different toys and things that are Mandalorian and Star Wars related that I'm going to show on that show. And I'm going to show one of the things here on this one. Look at this baby. So you press its head. Isn't that cute? So other baby Yodas, and messy other baby Yodas. So this is kind of fun. We'll go more in depth on this one on that Darth Vader's Your Father episode here on JLJ Media. Follow me on that one. Maybe Yoda can watch me over here. I love the little toys. There's all kinds of stuff coming out. It's Christmas now, so all kinds of stuff are coming out. So I'm very, very, very excited to show all that stuff. I know, baby Yoda. It's just so cute. Mandalorian child. So it's animatronic. That's the word I was looking for. Animatronic. But yes, this episode is for. It's always confusing. It's season 2. It's the 4th episode of season 2, but it's chapter 12, and it's titled "The Siege." Now, also, it is directed by Carl Weathers. I love that. Who, of course, is the star. It's Karga on this episode. He's back. Him and Cara Dune are back. So happy to have them back, of course. I love this episode. 40 minutes. So actually kind of normal. 40 minutes long. It was a lot of fun. There was humor. There was some stuff revealed. Loved it. So another adventure story that actually furthered story. But Carl Weathers did a great job directing it. I think everybody who's coming on is doing a great job. And Horatio Sands is in it as Mithril, the aqua creature. It's hilarious. I can look at his face going, he looks familiar. He looks familiar. Couldn't guess who he was. Saw at the end of that he was that. He's also Moff Gideon again. The show's good. So I believe we're halfway through the season almost as well. So this is going to be really interesting. It opens up with the ship. That ship is just like held on by a wing and a prayer. And it's kind of funny. The part of it, they always have like what they call like a bumper. At the beginning is always this little thing happens in the beginning. Then they show the opening logo, and then they go into the story. So every opening thing they do is always kind of fun. And this one was just as funny, having the child trying to teach the child because he's small enough to get the blue wire and the red wire and switch them. And that whole sequence was hilarious. I thought it was so funny. That was very cute. Him trying to parent the child is so like what us parents go through with our children. He's a little mischievous. But I'm seeing he's understanding a little more, kind of, and so they're communicating somehow. But the way he just talks to him is so hilarious. We saw a small piece, a little tiny, like a chin part of the Mandalorian. He lifted up to drink. It's very interesting. So let's go back to Navarro, which I'm glad to go back to Navarro, but they couldn't go to Corvus. They couldn't make it. That ship was messed up. They couldn't make it. I love Baby Yoda. I watched SpaceX crew, and one of the astronauts brought a Baby Yoda. Oh, funny. Okay, I did. Oh, funny. So they could. I mean, they couldn't even make it there. And I kept saying the ship is just falling apart. Help! I wasn't going to fix it that fast. I thought it'd be one of those things where every episode just keeps falling apart more. But they landed in Navarro and it fixed. But they're going to head back. But here's the thing: we see in the beginning this other scene where Cara Dune is back. I love her. Gina Carano, she's great. She's back. The Marshal, Cara, she's back, and she's fighting these weird fish-looking creatures, or whatever these creatures. And there's a little like rat ferret thing they're going to eat, but she ends up befriending that also. She attacks them, takes care of all them out, uses her MMA skills, of course, to showcase them. And that's a fun scene. Get action. I love that they go right to the action. Right to the action. We love that about Mandalorian. And then we have then it flashes where he gets now the ship lands on Navarro. Carl Weathers, I just seeing him makes me smile. You know, I'm an older person, so I remember Carl Weathers back in his heyday as an action star, all these way back in the day, just way back in the day in the 80s and stuff. He looks good, and he's out there running around with the rest of them. And there's just something that's like comforting about it. And the fact that he directed the episode, I thought was very cool. So they greet him, the Mando and the child. He takes the child, and he's all funny. He's very grandfather-like with the child, which I kind of like. It was interesting with this to show us that they found a way to keep the child in this somehow. They found a way to kind of integrate him into the story where it just works. And he's not an albatross like most shows hide the kids and babies. This show, it's a major plot point, and he's part of these stories. So I love that part. They're walking around Navarro. Navarro's doing much better than it had been before. And people and they go into the schoolroom where there's this C-3PO like teacher. I was like, oh, I mean, of course he wasn't the only droid. I mean, there's other droids out there, so it's kind of fun to see, a thing. Oh, and Ryan will be joining us shortly. He is coming in. Okay, it's just live television. So I had to kind of go and start it off, but he's coming in. Good. So technology is interesting. It's interesting. But it's fun when they have references, and on this show they do a lot of references that make sense because it's kind of like, well, I mean, of course, there's a bunch of them, so that makes sense. There's a bunch of those creatures running around. Somebody told me in the toilet. That's what I was reading. I was reading a thing and over here inside. Why wouldn't there be certain ships or certain species or certain droids? Certain reference. I love that they do that on the show. That is something that's really very, very cool. And I just think it's I'm waiting for Ryan. He's going to come in shortly. That I love that. So because it does make sense, but it's kind of cool to see another kind of C-3PO looking droid out there teaching the class, and they decide to leave the child there so they can conduct business. Because again, it's that almost adventure of the week, and we kind of knew, you can't get away easily. Okay, Ryan is coming on. We're going to admit him. He is coming on live. He's coming in.
I'm so sorry.
Now we see a piece of Ryan.
I'm so sorry.
He's live. Here he is.
We were rewatching it. I'm so tragically sorry. We were rewatching it as a family, and we hit pause, and I was like, I timed it, so we'll be fine. And then I didn't account for our pausing, and I was like, oh my God, James just texted me. It's live.
I love but Ryan, that is the best reason to come in late. That you were rewatching as a family.
It was a rewatch. And I apologize. There's really no excuse. I've let the community down. and I'm gonna need to make up for it. So next week, James, what do I got to do? There's got to be a punishment. There's got to be some kind of responsibility.
I will think of a Star Wars related punishment for
People
you.
can put it in the comments too. Like, what should I have to do, you guys? Is it sing a song? Is it do a handstand? Is it try and use the force?
A rap. Make him do a rap. A Star Wars Mandalorian rap. It's original. It's okay. You guys write in there.
Sonnet?
A sonnet. I know the sonnet. I love it. No,
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine because I, the show had to go. I almost. Everybody was asking me, "Where are you? Where are you?" So I had to come on. I said, Ryan. You'll see at the beginning. I said, Ryan may come on. There's technology issues that be happening. That's what I said. And you were watching.
We were rewatching.
I'm wearing my shirts.
I'm wearing. I'm not undressing here. I'm just revealing. I'm revealing a little bit of a Anakin. Oh, we got a It was subtle. Yes. It was subtle. You saw the saber.
And I played this earlier. My latest toy.
This is upset. Okay, you have more Baby Yodas than me. I have been trying to get a Baby Yoda forever. I want the child. And I don't have the child.
You need the child.
Oh my gosh, that's an awesome shirt, by the way. I'm taking a closer look at it.
Yeah, this shirt is the bomb.
Oh my goodness. Where did you get it, James?
Oh, Bonita. I have no idea. She gave it to me as a gift. Oh. My mommy gave it. I have no idea where she got it from. So I love it. I totally love it. So I'm like, yes. And I just told people on my other show, I have all kinds of Star Wars stuff. I'll be doing that.
And you know what else I love? This episode. I mean,
I just started. I haven't gotten far. All I got was to the part that they landed in Navarro. That's all I've gotten so far. So yes, 40 minutes. Carl Weathers directed it.
Yes, he did.
He did a great job.
He killed it. He killed it. I was blown away. Like he really did a great job directing action, the actors. I was incredibly impressed.
Yes, and I mentioned another thing I just mentioned was seeing Laura Becca Navarro, seeing Karga and Cara. I was like, thank you. I had a feeling we'd see them again. I was happy to see them. It made sense why we saw them. Cara Dune got to do her MMA fighting and making episodes, of course. I was like, all this stuff. Exactly. I loved it all. So I thought it was really cool. And that's where we're at right now. We got stats. I'm at that. They're now on Navarro. That's where I got.
They're there. And what were like the ball sack chin people that were like about to behead a ferret? Like they're about to behead a ferret, and then they're all just like, murder. Like I don't. How else would you describe them? Because I think we've seen them.
They were.
We saw one of them in the cantina.
Yeah, they had odd things going on. They were oddly shaped things. And then their chins and their heads. I was like, is that a light bulb shape? I don't know. I mean, there's things going on.
They're all balding. Like
they're all balding. They all have hair.
Like I'm not trying to judge, but they're probably on the uglier side. Yes, and that's why they're beheading ferrets.
I know. The poor little. I'm like, why? What? Hello. You'll be delicious when I'm eating you. I'm like, dang, that sucks.
Although I didn't think it was too cute. Like they were trying to pull like, look, all of our small creatures are cute because it was like, I'm not gonna leave. Feed me. And she's like, you're free. Get. Go. I was like, you're no baby Yoda. You're no child. There's only room enough for one cute little thing.
No, but it stuck with her. She ended up keeping it, so it's hanging out with her.
She's taking after Mando.
She fed it later. It was like, she kept the little rodent thing.
It was growth. Character growth.
Gosh, yes, but I'm glad to see them back. That's what I wanted. I'm glad to see them back. And I was talking about how they showed the classroom, and it was a C-3PO like teacher.
Yeah, the protocol droid teacher, kids raising hands, people eating, not passing notes, but passing candy.
What? I thought it was a macaroon. What was that? What was
macaroon.
That?
It was a macaroon.
It doesn't look like to me like it was a cookie-like thing. And I thought of you, Ryan. I thought of you. He used his powers.
I know. Use the powers. That's what I would do. I'd be force pulling all the macaroons. They did look good. They did. I love how they just held on him though for a few minutes. Like every episode's like, what's he eating this week? Are we? Is he in
He eats all the
trouble?
time.
All the time.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
is this building to something? Is
All
he
the time.
hibernating? Is he going through a growth spurt? I'm not sure. It might be.
Oh my god. Teenage Yoda.
Teenage Yoda.
Young YA Yoda, young adult older Yoda. I don't know what's going on.
YA Yoda.
It's really interesting. He always eats, so I thought it was kind of funny. So I look up who this person was at the end because the face looks so familiar. The Mithril creature, the aqua creature. Oh, he looks familiar. It's Horatio Sands,
Right.
of Saturday Night Live fame and a million movies. He's done B-rolls, a million movies. And I was like, oh, so it's so interesting to me. I love finding out who's playing these characters who want to go on makeup and they're playing these characters. I mean, it's very interesting because it's not their face. There's something else, and they're coming into the Star Wars universe. I love it.
Right, and he was in the first episode of this entire show. I think the first bounty we see Mando get, and I loved his joke where he's like, I still can't see out of my right eye because he was in carbonite. If you remember, I think in Return of the Jedi, when Han Solo comes out of carbonite, he can't see for quite a long time. That was a great little pull there. Really fun, but yeah, great to see him back, and he was pretty funny this episode.
Oh, he's hilarious. I said this right before he came on. I said, the one thing, because I was buying some time as you were coming on, I said I love the references. I love that they do things that actually make sense. Like there's many droids out there. There's many that were probably made. I mean, there's why not have a droid that be teaching kind of looks like something we've seen before. Why wouldn't you mention the carbonite thing? Like there's things that you had mentioned that make sense. They completely make sense.
Right. It makes complete sense. And yeah, and they're just basically, hey, we gotta. There's one more outpost. Just help us take it out. There's not many people there. I thought
of this one too. As adventure of the week. Of course, you couldn't land there and just go home. I mean, that's just not going to happen. I go to this next stop. Is you have to help us first.
Got out.
But see, I knew when I saw that one creature it was a quick look as he was walking towards the ship.
Oh,
I was like,
right.
Ain't right.
Something they held on him for a second.
They did.
I was like, is he checking out their asses? And then it was like, no. He's got another motive. There's something else going on.
Something going on. I was like, something going on. Because it felt weird at first. Like, well, why did they show him? Like, I'm like, oh, that's.
I swear, I was like, he's checking them out.
He did kind of have that look a little bit, like he was kind of like, ooh, okay.
He was like, oh, and then even then he's like, I put it on. And you're like, okay. Is that the only place you put the tracking beacon? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what's going on there, right?
Sure.
One thing I'm glad too about this episode, when they left the child with the school or the class, nothing really happened to him. I was glad that it wasn't a child in peril again. I'm glad that it was really, because when he got him later, he just went and got him later. There was nothing. I kind of like that also.
I was worried they were going to be like cutting between action of these TIE fighters are shooting them down, and then it's like the teacher's getting closer to Baby Yoda. Like, are you supposed to be here? I thought they were going to be doing something parallel, but no, it was just like it left us wondering, which was it was like a different type of terror.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree, but it was good. So I'm glad nothing happened to him. It was good.
Yeah, me too.
So there's another old Imperial base on the planet. Just sitting there. Just sitting there.
Just sitting there.
And they said that's where the troops were when they defeated Moff Gideon. But eventually, it's the last base to take out. Come on, let's work it out.
Come on.
One thing, Mando trying to get inside. All of a sudden, a stormtrooper falls in the sky. Basically, Mando got him in. Love it.
Got them all. They break in, and it seemed pretty easy at first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But here's what we get some story. We actually got some storyline. We got some reveals that I was like, really? Oh, okay. So they're taking out stormtroopers. They're taking things out. Look at you, they're taking things out. They're doing the usual. They kill the guy who's trying to, the lab part is out.
Yeah, he's like, just destroy it, and they take him out. I'm like, whoa, why do they want to destroy the?
I know.
What's going on over there? What's going on?
Well, because they were saying basically they thought the mission would be you go to that like fire thing.
Just set it to blow.
Set to blow. We peace out, and then
peace out.
We're free. That's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Mm-mm.
What happens is they find out it's a lab.
Yeah. Which this is cool, right? I mean, the reveal, well, it's not really, it feels like a reveal, but it's like we don't know what it's a
Yeah.
reveal of. That's what's kind of unique about it is we're like, well, this is information, and I'm sure we're going to get some insight on it later. But yeah, there seem to be like tubes of some kind of like specimen, like I think maybe it was like some like a being that was
Well,
just in
people
there.
have ideas, right?
People have
So
ideas.
they have ideas. They have ideas. Um, so it's a deformed kind of humanoid-like thing in the tank, floating around,
Mm,
disgusting the tank. So now the Imperial scientists, they have a little hologram comes up. A great actor named Omed, I forgot his last name. Great actor, he's done a lot of stuff. And he shows up in there, and he's talking to Moff Gideon, basically.
right.
You know,
It's a little
so,
voicemail.
yes. So the reveal. So they're going, wait a minute. I thought Moff Gideon was dead because remember we know he's alive. They
Right.
didn't know that. So it's like, oh, that was a nice little drop for them that he's possibly alive. And they
Right.
always, well, that was 3 days. It was only 3 days ago. So he has
Mm.
to be alive. So now they know. So that's okay. Now they're connecting the dots. So now they know he's alive.
But also, there's a few little words in there, James Lott.
Tell him. Tell him.
They're saying something about, I only got a small blood sample. And you're like,
Yes.
okay, so that's
Yes.
what they were doing. Like they were trying to get
Extracting
blood
samples from the child
And he
without
said,
hurting him.
without hurting him. But he also said there's nothing else with a higher M count.
Yes.
What is M count? Midichlorian, which is from the prequels. That big little word.
I know. I
If you're force sensitive,
I know.
there we go.
They're dropping
Tee it up.
stuff. They're teeing it up. They're teeing it up. They're teeing it up. And they're dropping now. They're dropping it. They're dropping it. Gather. Stir the pot. Stir the pot. Exactly. I was like, homeboy had a nice little role right there. He dropped a bunch of things in that sentence.
But he also said that like the subject or like the test didn't take. Like it didn't, something like didn't work. Like the blood didn't take, and that they were afraid they should stop testing because they're afraid the next or that the volunteer might suffer the same fate. Which was like, oh, are these people in the tubes the other volunteers? What's going on here? Are they trying to transfuse his blood into some people to see if like they get his powers? I don't know.
Some folks were sounding online. They were like, are you trying to clone Palpatine? Are you trying
Which
to
would,
clone
because it did, if you did see Rise of Skywalker, the very beginning, 5 minutes, similar tubes with like other beings and Snopes, and I mean, that looked awfully similar. I think we might have some tie-ins. We might have some tie-ins.
I agree. But I said, but either way, are they trying to create something using the child to do so?
I mean, I believe it.
Well, it adds another dimension to why the child's so important too. Like it adds another dimension to him, I guess to him. That okay, so this child has several purposes and why people want this child. Here's another reason why Moff and Empire want him. They had him, of course they stole him from him, they had him, and they lost him, so of course they're pissed about that because they're pissed. They're villains. But also now we see that there's something about this blood, and even though it didn't work, there's something about the child that's stirring around, and I think it just makes more of a like people they want him. He's valuable. He's very valuable.
He's valuable. He's an asset.
He's an asset. So I like that. I also like they had to separate, which was very interesting. They had to separate. So the 3 stayed there to finish off stuff, and then he had to go get the child. So like once he heard like the Moff gives out, he's like, I gotta go. They're like, jetpack over there, it'll be faster. We'll handle this. I thought it was kind of cool. Carl Weathers still got it. I was just saying before he came on, I'm like, for me, Carl Weathers is my time period. He's 80s, he's 70s, 80s. I mean, he's Action Jacks. He's all these things. I mean, come on.
Hello, Creed.
Hello, Creed. I mean, that's like he's my time period. So for me to see this old man running around, holding it down with the rest of them, I was like, yes, Carl Weathers, this is for the old guys. That's right.
Yeah, he killed it. He killed it. And I mean, yeah, really amazing that he both directed this, and he just did such a great job acting. I mean, what's really funny. Someone pointed this out online. I kind of connected the dots here. He's in Predator, and like half the actors in Predator became a governor of some state, whether it's
Oh,
like
how funny!
yeah, and he seemed to be the governor of this town
Yes,
and on
yes, yeah.
Navarro in many ways. So yeah, I love where his character has gone. He seems not to be involved in that guild anymore. Like
No,
he's on this planet, and
yeah.
so I'm loving that. I think I'm also Carl Weathers again, like some guy who this is a second wave. I think he's my dad was saying this the other day. He was like, his career has been kind of like it's been kind of light lately, and this is just such a great resurgence. And I've heard he wasn't supposed to have a huge role season one, and he just fell in love with the world and the character, and now look, he's directing one of the episodes. I hope he directs another one.
Yeah, it was good because so we mentioned the next thing was a great chase scene, as they do very well on the show. We love the chase scenes. Love seeing, I mean, the child in me, the 7-8-year-old in me, the 10-year-old in me, love seeing these ships. I love seeing them flying around. It's like, oh my God, I know that one. Oh my God, I know that one. I mean, like it completely makes me just giddy with excitement, and my little Star Wars heart could take that because the time period, again, it's the time period. That's why these ships are there. It's from that time period. So again, it makes sense. These type of ships will be there, and to see I love all the fighting and the chases and through the mountainous areas, and I love that. I'm a sucker. Maybe I'm a boy or a guy.
The speeders were awesome. I mean, what an awesome chase scene. I thought that was just epic on every level. What was so fun. We haven't really gotten much of that in this show.
Oh.
The speeders were everything. Oh my gosh. And I feel like, and this is a weird bit of like a weird comment, but we have seen every piece of footage that has been shown in a trailer thus far. So everything from here on out, we have not seen anything of, which is exciting.
Which was deliberate, you know that.
Definitely deliberate. But so while they're speeding home, like Mando just flew off. Din Djarin just like they're like, hey, jetpack is quicker. Get going.
I get the kid. And so he did, but he comes back at a good time though. Comes back at a good time, just when when they need him, and helps them with the last fight, or gets them out the way, and I love that. And so I mean, and the ship's in great shape, which I'm shocked they fixed. I'm actually shocked they fixed the ship. So I thought it was gonna be one of those kind of running jokes. Like
that was a quick fix.
Wasn't it?
If they had time to put, I'm shocked they had time to put the tracking beacon on, and then. Well, and maybe that's it's curious, right? It's they had enough time to fix the ship and put a tracking beacon on, but maybe they called Moff Gideon and everyone else to come there, and then just because he left in such a rush, he had to settle for the beacon. Yeah. I don't know.
Now, Michael B. Hi, Michael B. I think there's 8 episodes, right?
8 episods.
So we're halfway through the season, Michael.
Mid-season finale in many ways.
Yes, we're mid-season. It was crazy talk. Mid-season. So I mean, they got it. The ship's done fast. Okay, sure, why not? Okay, maybe 10,000 people worked on it. The creatures were fast. I don't know. They worked on it. Maybe the balls in his chin helped or something. I don't know. I was like, I thought it was just kind of fast. Like that was kind of like okay.
It was a quick fix.
Quick fix. The ship's in great shape. The child throws up the blue macaroons. That was kind of funny. Like,
they were spinning in circles so fast.
He liked it though. And the little kid was on. He was like, he was just like,
aww.
So I love that. Oh, over here too. So that's kind of fun. But I'm glad the ship is good. So the Razor Crest is good. It's good. But then you think, okay, so you think it's over. He's like, I gotta go. I got things I gotta do. I gotta do what I gotta do. But it's not. The episode ain't done yet. So this is very interesting. So he goes off. So that's what's so great about the show. It's like they're the stars of the show, so to speak. But because we're invested in the whole universe, they can do this. Normally, they don't do this very often. Where they cut off to the other people and kind of without that person there, and literally have these. They had scenes. They had like 2 or 3 scenes after he was off screen. That was a very interesting choice. A very interesting choice.
Definitely.
As a writer,
they held on him. They held on them for a while, and that was nice. And it's also nice because we haven't seen them all season, and they had a bigger presence, I think, last season. And just really was a spotlight on Carl Weathers for a lot of that. Just manning the turret, classic Star Wars. I was thinking about Han and Luke when they're fighting the TIE fighters, and it looks like on the guns. It's just a great classic Star Wars scenario, and then they come in to save the day.
So after Homeboy and Baby are off trying to go to the next destination, we're back on Navarro, and the officer,
who, by the way,
nice big role, officer. I wonder who you know to get that happen, and those close-ups. Sure, okay.
Who was it?
Isn't that Dave Filoni?
Oh no, so that one wasn't Dave Filoni, but I think Dave Filoni was on that planet because there were 2 ships, right?
Okay. Yes, there's 2 ships. Yes,
I think Dave Filoni. So Dave Filoni thinks the other one that was in like the bug episode.
Oh, that's right. That was him on that one. Yes.
But I was like, where is Dave? Like, did he have like the day? Was he busy? Like, because they're both ships were there they were there. Obviously he was there. But I'm like, where? I kept looking around, and I'm like, where is he?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, how could he have been busy for that? I don't know. It was odd.
So yes. So
but they tried to recruit her. Right?
A recruiter, and she's like, nope.
Been there, done that.
Yep. She's like, nope. I'm here. I'm good. I'm good.
But he leaves it. He leaves the medal, and he's like,
yeah, he does. Well, it was actually a very sensitive moment. I was like, oh, that kind of was like, I was there. She's like, who'd you lose? She's like, I lost everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
Or everyone said everyone. And it was actually a very sad moment. It was like you get a glimpse to her a little bit. But they kind of bonded for a second. And he just leaves, like say, leaves the metal badge right there on the thing, and he walks off. And she just kind of looks. And you see her just kind of thinking, but not thinking. I don't think she's thinking to go join them, but just kind of thinking about what happened possibly. I don't know. But it was just a very sensitive moment. I didn't expect that.
Definitely. I completely agree. It definitely was a bit of an emotional.
Well, Michael B thinks she's thinking about it. I don't know. Maybe she is. Maybe she is thinking about it. I don't know. Maybe she is. I thought it was a very glance. It was a very sensitive.
She has always kept her little rebel tattoo right here.
Yes.
So she was a shock trooper with them. She obviously left because I think the whole story is she left the rebellion because she hated the politics.
Yeah. Which makes
so
sense.
Now she's like, all right, maybe it's time. Hey, and maybe it is. Maybe it is time to get back in. Who knows? And I think we keep seeing these 2 guys basically following Mando.
Yes, they are.
It'd be interesting to see a 3rd ship. And then she pops out or something along the lines. Maybe she gets back involved.
Maybe. And so it was good to see Navarro. We're going to see it's doing way better than it was before. It's doing fine. They accomplished their mission for the most part. Even though it's on Moff Gideon's radar now. It's on his radar. So
Big
that
time.
can come back to bite them later. It could happen. There could be something that could all.
They've learned information, but so is he.
Yes, exactly. And that goes to that ball sack chin guy. Contact. We don't have a name, so we don't know what his name is.
I know. What is he?
Some of these things don't give him names, just like whatever. But yeah, speaking role though. He contacts the Imperial, Mr. Moff Gideon. And I wrote down, I knew something was up. So he planted the beacon. I wrote that on there. I knew something was up. That's when it clicked to me. I knew something was up. Dang it. Something was up. And the beacon is on the Razor Crest. So it's on there. But he turns and they pan out. So is the lab continuing on that where he is? Are they Darth Vader like? I was trying to look at the suits. I was like, okay, are they Darth Vader looking suits? Are they Imperial?
Yeah.
I was trying to look at them, but they pan out to a bunch of them. I couldn't tell if there was like little.
What were they?
Yeah,
right.
I better look than I did.
Were they because I remember in the finale of season 1, those
Yes.
black stormtroopers that they were called Death Troopers.
Yes.
Those were there. So I was like, maybe those are there again. I think like they've kind of established this thing. Like I know in Rogue One, I'm totally blanking on the villain's name in that one, but he had Death Troopers kind of as his personal guards. So maybe that's a thing with them. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Death Troopers, but maybe he's doing some kind of lab experiment with them. Who knows? Like but he is definitely in pursuit, and oh, gosh, they're really setting up some awesome stuff here.
Well, I was like, well, now I mean, like they're really showing him. Like he wasn't on the first couple episodes. Now they're really showing him. Question, guys. What? Well, that's what we're thinking. What are they doing in the lab? I know it's some kind of genetic experiences. I thought they were trying to clone the baby. I don't know if they're trying to clone the baby. I think they're trying to use the baby's innards to clone something else. I think, that's kind of interesting. So that's what we're saying. I'm sorry, maybe there was a lag in here. That's what we're saying. We're trying to figure out the same thing. It's like a lab, right? It's a lab.
I think it's a lab. I'm pretty sure what they're trying to do with him though is something with his blood or his like force powers, trying to put him in someone. Yeah, it's interesting. They've definitely shed some more light on that as to what they might try to do with him.
But it gave us a different sense of a storyline now. It's like, okay, we've got this going on too now. Before it's about or maybe we're getting more clarification on some level of what the child is supposed to, why they want the child, maybe.
Right. I think it's definitely clarifying that, like, oh wow, there's something deep in here. That's like they have a deep investment in this asset in the child. And clearly, Moff Gideon, which they did, gosh, when they introed the ship, just like in the original Star Wars, that image of the huge Star Destroyer.
I loved it.
Come on now.
Loved it.
Come on.
I noticed that direction. I was like, of course, this is very Star Warsian. I loved it.
Right. It is.
It worked. It worked for me. I was just like, oh, I see it.
And that's got to be like his ship. Like that must be.
I just thought it was so good. And again, great direction and all that. And in fact, it was a lab. There were some things in tubes. I couldn't see. It was like, and maybe that was on purpose. Maybe we weren't supposed to see.
Maybe
that heavily. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that was the thought.
They were clouding it.
Maybe we weren't. Maybe it was supposed to be unclear.
It might have been supposed to be unclear.
You can see there.
Yeah, there. It looked like he just had some badasses on hold, and
on hold.
And once they get there, he'll unleash them. Yeah, I'm amped, and I also saw Michael.
Good.
It's not good. It's not good. I saw Michael B in the chat mention just a real quick note about next week that Dave Filoni is directing next week's episode, which obviously is rumored to feature Ahsoka Tano.
And that is it.
Which, guys, I'm just saying, like, I was actually talking about this with a few people earlier. Next week, the hype going into next week's episode rivals that of a Star Wars movie for me, because I was so excited for like The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, amped, really excited, like all week. Oh yeah, here we go. We're going to see this character in live action potentially next week. And it's on Thanksgiving and it's in the middle of the season. It's Dave Filoni. I mean, the guy who did the animated shows that introduced this character, he's directing the episode. He's going to introduce this character. I'm amped. Like this is huge.
I want it to happen so bad for you. I want to happen because I want to be on the show with you next week talking about it. I want to see you explode.
I will lose my mind if it happens. I mean, but also, I mean, James Lott, this also brings up an idea of I have high expectations for next week. This season's been incredible. I absolutely love it way more than one. They're knocking it out of the park. But this is the landing here. Like, it's great. We're getting this in 5. There's 3 after. Like, whoa, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
But you got to stick this landing. Like this is it, man. If this could have like massive ramifications, and I have every confidence that they will stick the landing. But man, I'm excited.
Well, it's funny. My brother-in-law loves Ahsoka Tano also. He was like, "Oh, that's why I love it. I watched the Clone War. I love Rebels. So he's excited too. He watched our show last week. He's very excited, like you are.
You gotta get him on.
Yeah, I don't realize. I mean, he won't do. He's a civilian. He won't do it.
Oh,
He likes watching, but he likes watching. But yeah, I want it so bad for you, just because I know I'll be excited to talk to you about it. I'm so excited that we hope. I mean, we hope it happens. Could Gideon bring back the clone army, but with force powers? I know that's a thought, right?
that's a really interesting thought.
It is. That is a very interesting theory and thought. I mean, I'll give you Michael, I'll give you on that. I'll give you that one. That's that. I mean, it could possibly happen. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this, like I said, this episode changed certain things for me. Now it's like, okay, now we have another storyline going on. We see what Moff Gideon's up to. It really was a story that really did turn the corner for me. This episode,
Right? They really did give us enough plot there. Yeah.
Yeah, because for a while it really was like an adventure of the week, the man or the child, and everybody else's little story. Now we got Moff, and that this story can affect everyone. I mean, whatever he's doing can affect the whole series.
Right.
That's what's and really affect Mando and the child, but it can affect the whole series. So whatever you guys are thinking, I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out.
I wouldn't either. And I mean, yeah, guys, at Thanksgiving week, everyone's gonna be home. Everyone's gonna be in front of Disney Plus. Like they're not dumb. They planned this out.
Oh no, they're not dumb at all.
And I know the title of next week's episode.
Oh, what is it?
The Jedi.
Is it really? It's gonna be. Oh my god!
Which is interesting because, and again, if you haven't seen the shows, but Ahsoka Tano isn't necessarily considered a Jedi because she left the Jedi Order. So unless something's happened in the past couple of years, which something very well might have.
Yeah, right. It totally can.
I don't think she's considered to be a Jedi. Also, we don't know if Bo-Katan led him astray, maybe lied to him. I don't know. It's not a guarantee that we're getting her. But I really hope we do.
And also, I mean, is maybe Yoda a Jedi? Is going to belong to a Jedi? Could we be related to that?
These are all.
We gotta be careful because this show ain't dumb, and they're not gonna leak stuff out. They're gonna leak a few things out, but they're gonna leak everything out. So they will surprise you. They're not dumb. Disney Channel. Disney's like, no, we it's close to the vest. I'm sure
they're on top of it.
Yeah, we're thinking of things, and they're all possible. We don't know S.
We don't know S.
We don't know S. Or I or H.
Yes, Kirsten.
We don't know none of that until the show actually airs, right? It's crazy.
Oh, I'm excited. But so that was the ending though. It was them flying away. He's like, yeah, the beacon. They're tracking him. They're flying. So it's like we have these huge forces that are about to collide. We have hopefully Mando and Baby Yoda.
Yes.
With her.
Yes.
And then Moff Gideon, that whole fleet stuff's gonna happen. You also have the other Mandalorians. Then Boba Fett's out there.
Yeah, but remember, he's still out there, folks. He roaming around. I don't know what the F he's doing. He's out there somewhere. roaming the galaxy, I guess. I mean, I remember I told you. I said this episode one. How ironic I said that. I said it the first episode of the season. They're going to take their time with him. They're not going to put Boba Fett on right away. I knew it. I just knew. I know as a writer, I knew it. It would be almost, unless you want the season to be about Boba Fett, which was not. That's not the season. But
right.
He's going to come back, folks. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that.
Do you think finale or do you think?
I'm thinking
finale. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm also a little worried about. It's been his whole plan is to get Baby Yoda, the child, to the Jedi.
Right.
And as right now, what we think is next week, that might be the day, but hey, she's not really considered a Jedi. So but maybe something happened in the last 5 years where now she does consider herself a Jedi. I'm worried. I don't know. I'm worried. The other thing is this. They could only get so much blood from Baby Yoda. what if Mando unintentionally leads Moff Gideon to Ahsoka Tano, someone who can definitely give up a lot more blood than a baby can, and that's who they start taking the blood from. Like there's a lot of possibilities going on here. I'm worried about that.
I think the child will not be given up this season. I think that will end the show.
They might not need the child. They might not only need her.
Right. I think the child will be around for a couple of seasons. He'll be right. Yes, Ryan. Yes. I think the child will be around for a while. I don't think he's going to be given up that easily. I think, and then Boba Fett too. He could come back episode 7, 8, the last 2 episodes possibly. I feel like we have to remember he's out there. Plus, you also have Mr. Vance, whatever. He's out there still somewhere. Again, you got Karga and Cara. I mean, they did upset the whole apple cart, so to speak. They're around. It could be a gathering of everybody comes together to fight the bad forces, which is a very Star Wars thing to do.
Ooh.
A lot of stuff that could happen. And then there's also a couple of characters that are still out there that we have not seen yet, that haven't come back yet. And one of them was tweeting the other day.
Really?
The actress.
Who? Are we saving it? Okay, we'll see.
Asian actress.
Okay. Wow.
So I don't know.
Oh.
But again, like I said, we don't know. We don't. There's 4 episodes left.
Who on
A lot
earth?
can happen in 4 episodes. We don't even know how long the episodes are.
A lot can happen.
A lot can happen. And we know from the episode last week, it was shorter. It packed a lot in that episode. So, I mean, we can't even go by length either. We can go by length, but you can't.
Sometimes length matters. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yes, it can. Or not. What I can say about that. At the end of Rebels, Bo on the dark saber, and now Gideon has it. So Ahsoka could be a Jedi now.
Ooh,
That's
it's
true?
a good point. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a good point. There's a few. There's so much could happen. It's 5 years.
I mean, it's 5 years. A lot's happened in 2020.
Oh.
That's like, it ain't been a full year yet, so anything can happen in this universe.
There might have been a year in those 5 where a pandemic hit, and then
I think you just
who knows?
Who knows? So I think that's kind of, to me. I'm like, you're absolutely right about that. Anything could happen in there. So I think right now we're just all kind of predicting, but that's so great about the show is that we're not gonna know nothing until we watch the episode. That's how they do. And that's how the first season was, and this season the same thing. And I think, I noticed the same thing too. The trailer part, that was all on purpose. Now we get a guess. Now we have nothing. We don't know nothing. And these 4 episodes are crucial.
Crucial.
I can't be supposed to over. I mean, I'm just like, no.
I mean, we still have 4 weeks.
I know, but still.
4 weeks. I mean, we'll be like very close to the holidays.
Yeah, close to Christmas. So we're
close to Christmas when this whole thing ends, which I think it's a great spot to end it. Last year they, I think, went a week or 2 past Christmas. Yeah. So I think they timed this well. And I think that they've, again, like, it's almost like, hey, next week we've had our eyes on the whole season. And then after that, I have no clue what's going on.
Oh yeah, no clue whatsoever. I mean,
this is the meetup that I've been potentially excited about since the show started. So if it happens, which I hope it does, and after it happens, it's a free reign, people. Like, some stuff's gonna go down. It's gonna be nuts. Do I have to act like an insane person about Ahsoka Tano? Ahsoka Tano, you guys, next week. Be there.
Oh my God.
Be there.
I love it. Oh my God, I love it. And that's how we'll end the show, folks. Ahsoka Tano, she better show up.
She better show up. I've been ready. I'm gonna be, and this is one thing I'll also say. Sorry, I'm talking, and we've got to run. So
I love it. Go ahead.
Every episode this year, I have watched it the following morning. Got a good night's sleep, wake up. I do like a green tea, maybe even drink the whole green tea, then do a coffee, then I watch it. Like I kind of take my time. I'm still watching it early. Don't get me wrong. Like a lot of people watch it tonight.
I do. I watch it. I watch it at 12:01.
Right. I mean, East Coast is 3 a.m. I'll tell you this. I'm waiting till 3 a.m. next week. There's by no
Oh, yeah,
means.
for you. Oh, for you. How do you sleep, Ryan?
Every week though, I do it the next morning.
Oh, that's fine. But no, but this
I'm not sleeping.
You won't be able to.
I'm gonna be a few drinks and then just
you better get that L-tryptophan from the turkey out of your system. You can wake up.
A peanut oil turkey.
Exactly. And wake up. Because I'm gonna watch it at 12:01. I'm watching it at 12:01. So yeah, you guys, I want to come back next Friday. You know, I'm taking that whole weekend off. I feel like this is so big. I'll be here next Friday. Ryan, you will be here next Friday at 5 p.m.
I will be here on time next Friday.
Exactly. We'll be here next Friday. This is the only show. I'm not even doing the soap shows that weekend. I'm only doing this show because it's so big. I was like, I have to do this show. We have to. We can't wait. We got to talk about it. So yes, we will be here next Friday for sure. 5 p.m. We'll be here on JLJ Media. I'll make sure you guys have reminders and stuff, but I'll be watching it at 12:01 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on
3:01 Eastern Standard Time on Friday.
I can probably text you. Like, oh my God.
We might be FaceTiming for all I know. Like, it's gonna be wild. Like I might need to tape like a live reaction. And then just like put it up there because I'll be freaking out.
Oh my God, everybody's excited. And somebody, yes, we're excited. Thank you guys for tuning in to us again for watching the Mandalorian After Show here on JLJ Media. Ryan Nilsen, tell me where they can find you.
You can find me at RYNILSEN on Twitter and at Ryan Nilsen on Instagram. Where can they find you, James Lott Jr.? You already said it.
James Lott Jr. just sold everybody at James Lott Jr. on all media platforms. This show is on all the streaming platforms. Oh, and thank you guys. You guys are actually starting to tune into the podcast version of this. I saw the numbers went up. I'm like, oh, okay. So if you're listening to us, podcast listener, thank you for listening to us. Podcast listener. We like that. So it's fine. If you want to listen to us or watch us, doesn't matter. Please just tune in. We love this very much. Ain't midnight on the East Coast, 9 a.m. No. For Ryan, it comes out midnight
here. So I'm 3 hours later. So it's 3 a.m. and they're not like, oh, we're just gonna do it at midnight on East Coast too, because we'll get it 3 hours before you guys. They're like, no, we have to be fair.
Be fair.
And they're not really on exact time about it either. It's always like
they're not either. I've checked. They're not. So no, they go by West Coast time because we're the last one, so to speak, of the group. So that's why it's later for him. That's why it's not 9 p.m. his time, midnight mine. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. Mm-hmm. That's how they do it. But the other day it was on at 12:05. I was like, okay, refreshing. I'm like, where is that? Where's chapter 12? Where is that? I want my chapter. I want my Mandalorian.
This is the way, though. This is the way.
This is the way. That's why may it force be with you and everything. So, folks out there, please be safe, be careful. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a safe Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Please, everybody, please be safe. Whatever you're doing. Ahsoka Tano might be here next week with us. We love you guys. See you next time, Star Wars Army.
Bye.